Hi, this is Keith Hayes. Just a quick note about our programme schedule for November and the beginning of December. We keep on creeping along, nudging along, getting new stuff for you. There'll be some updates on the scene in Sussex that you have already. There'll be one or two other things that are coming along. Our friend Sir Jenry down on Priory Park will be bringing you a little bit more history of the region. And also we will have our regular rants, plenty to rant about. Don't make me laugh, customer first. And of course we'll try and keep you up to date with the weather. But bit by bit we're adding more services, and as we go along we hope that we can satisfy your entire desire, and you won't want to go anywhere else but to watch Mirador television. We look forward to having you along, and do join us, but you can also catch some of our stuff on Facebook, some of our stuff on YouTube, but generally speaking, this is the best place to come, miradortelevision.com, and you can get absolutely everything that we put out, and some of it's not half bad. Okay, toodle pip, and glad to talk to you, and see you later. Now there's nothing like the English pub. I love popping into my local. Little chat, a little drink, and all is right with the world. The pubs have a long history in England, and here's the British Council to tell us a little bit about them. A bit ideal sounding, I think, to begin with, but what the heck? This film was made in 1944, and if they appreciated a pub then, who can say them nay?
Flanked by the church, the rectory, and the people's homes, stands the inn. In its shade and beneath its roof, men of all degrees and of all opinions meet in comradeship and comfort. Side by side with the monastic inns grew the royal inns, which were used by the king's servants when travelling in the Middle Ages. A house in each village was selected for their accommodation. These too in time became commercial inns under such ancient signs as the Crown. Later, the inn yard was used by the postboy as a link between villages and hamlets. The mails in turn were carried by stagecoach further afield, and today much of our civilization can be traced back to these earlier forms of communication which centered round the inn. As the inns grew more important, their yards grew larger and galleries were added. These formed a convenient theatre for strolling players, who often used the inn for refreshment after their performance. By the beginning of the 19th century, coach travel had become more popular, and the tavern was used as a coaching station. There, luggage was assembled, and passengers would be taken aboard prior to the long drive across the English countryside. Mail coaches built for speed used the inns as halts, where fresh teams of horses were changed in a matter of seconds. Today, beneath the sign of the old coach and horses, you will find bicycles. While on the road, cars pass old toll gates, where once fees were collected for the upkeep of the main road. When the railway brought speed to industrial England, it also brought the new railway taverns. You'll also find the inn on the banks of the English waterways, our oldest transport routes. The cargoes which float past have changed with the centuries. Sail has given way to steam and the petrol motor. The inn signs themselves reflect a great variety of topical humour, interests, sports and history. The load of mischief, a dig at the nagging wife. The volunteer, from the days when warfare was more casual. The White Hart, crest of King Richard II. England's St. George fighting the dragon. And England's St. George refreshing himself afterwards. The Six Bells with its two meanings. The row barge to remind us of more leisurely days, and the cross-handed highwayman of when our roads weren't so safe. The Fighting Cocks, memories of an old English sport. And the airman to bring our inn signs right up to date. Travel along the English road today and you'll find the modern inn, there to refresh all travellers according to their means. Its appearance and amenities differ widely from the village tavern, but its roots are the same. It merely reflects the temper and taste of a new and swifter age.
Well, 1944 was a nice, swifter age. I wonder what today is or what they would make of us today. But anyway, the pub still exists and that's absolutely great. Well, now food and drink. If you remember, I was trying to get on a food show. So let's take a look. I managed to get most of my food out of the way, but then it was time for dessert. So, did we need good fruit and veg for the dessert? Did we need pumpkins? Not a bit of it.
It's been a lovely lunchtime. Here I got home and I thought, from church, and I thought, gosh, it's got another miserable old Sunday lunch all on my own. But no, I got Keith in, I got doppelganger Keith in, and we went into the kitchen and we have taken every step along the way to make absolutely sure that we provided a first-class meal fit for, well, if not a king, at least fit to go on television and help you to create your own lunch in a style similar to this one. Oh, I have not enjoyed a Sunday lunch as much in a long time with or without people. There we are. You see, it's very important to have opened that tin of peaches before we actually put them into the dish, the dessert dish. So there we are. We'll just rely upon looking at them and salivating over them for a moment before we actually go. Right. Now, that's rather a lot for one chap. But remember that we didn't have any wine with lunch, so we've got to make up for that. We've got to compensate for that. So we do that with a few extra peaches. Now here we go with the ice cream. You see how important it is to have a proper scoop. Yes, there. See. Scoop away, put it gently onto the, only got one hand, you see, that's the trouble, only one hand, not easy with one hand, but there we go, it's getting there, a bit of lighter. Actually, if it's a little sticky, it means that the ice cream is good, the ice cream is ripe, it is ready for use. There we go, right, the first scoop of ice cream, but we're going to have 2 scoops today. I sometimes have 3 if I'm feeling, but that fish was so good and so filling that I think I'd better just rely upon 2 scoops today. Well, they're very large scoops, but we'll just 2. Just 2. There. And there is a way. There is a way. It's the way you use the wrist to actually get the ice cream, because those scoops are terribly important to the taste. if you don't scoop them like that, it affects the peaches. The peaches don't taste as good. The ice cream, therefore, isn't quite the flavour that it should be. So do be very careful the way that you scoop. So now I'm going to enjoy a dessert. And there you go. One of us must go through, and one of us must go home. So I'm hoping that this is the award-winning dessert, just to top off that magnificent fish lunch. I think that I'm going to leave you now because I really want to enjoy this. So let me just say goodbye properly.
So that's enough of that. He said, saying goodbye properly after that lunch. Oh, never mind. I don't think that I'll make the show somehow. Nevertheless, it's time now for a bit more serious stuff with Star Jackson and her sister Yeva, and we left Star in mid-sentence when she said, "Now it's my turn, and I can show you how we write music after composing it." So let's go to Star.
Never bring you down or leave you alone. Trust him all in all, 'cause he's alive. Lead your way through darkest of times. Never let you go.
So you've seen how all this process is happening, and you've seen my sister just sitting behind a keyboard and creating music. So afterwards, this creative process is finished. Now it's my turn as a lyricist to act in terms of writing songs to the lyrics, and I would divide the song and lyric writing process into steps of 4. So basically, when I have the ready material, the material is ready, my sister passes it on to me, so it comes out from the first level to the second level. Okay, so you have a plain music, no text, no lyrics, no nothing, it's just the music. Now it's time to make an impact. And so what I do, when I have the material ready, meaning that I have the music and I listen to that music for several days, maybe an hour, maybe for a minute. Depends. Like depends when you listen, what thoughts and emotions are evoked that will push you to the fact that you start or you would love to write words or lyrics to the song. It takes sometimes a long time to just simply, write a line, a word, a phrase, sometimes 2, 3 thoughts. Sometimes it's just like a brainstorming thing. You have several ideas, you just put them down on a piece of a paper, and then later you combine all the ideas that you have, trying to fit it into the song, into the music that has evoked certain kind of emotions, and that's kind of a funny part. And then afterwards that you just have all these things ready. Starts, as I said, you have a brainstorming part, you have the time to listen to the music for several days, maybe hours, maybe, I just say it depends, So, it depends how and when it's going to be and happen, how the thought creating process is going to come. Thought delivery process is how I call that. So basically, if you have all this, starts the creative mass, and that's my most favorite part. So the creative mass is something like that. You got all those papers all around, massy and massy, And it gets even nastier when a lot of thoughts are just added to these things. And then you have to kind of start the sorting process. Now you have these many ideas, and then now you have to choose which one is good, which one's going to be in the first line, which is going to be in the second line, and then what is going to be the chorus part like, so everything as it is. So you have this creative mess happening right here. And as you've seen, the papers and the blueprints that I have, after that starts stage 4. It's the final stage where the music and the lyrics, they perfectly fuse in together. And you have a perfect song combined with perfect lyrics. So this is much like that my sister, aka Yeva Sujan, is providing me the skeleton. You know, mistake that the music part, the composed music, is the skeleton. And what does the lyricist do? The lyricist adds up some seasoning and some, character, and why not also a taste to the song that is going to be provided to a great audience, because it must have an impact first. It has to make an influence second. If the music is good but the lyrics are not that good, it means that it ain't not gonna make any difference. So what you have to do is you have to listen carefully to the music piece that you have, so that you can kind of try to understand the inner world of the composer, what they want to say through that music piece. And that is a very important thing, that both the lyricist and the composer at least know each other pretty well, so that they can understand the ideas of one another of just creating a song and the lyrics combined. Thanks for watching Murder TV. It was me, Star Jackson, from Yerevan, Armenia, special for Murder TV. So, don't forget to subscribe to the channel of Murder TV to see more things coming. Bye-bye.
Oh, the sun gets in my eyes, and I'm afraid that's it for this week, just as well. Probably. If I start to sing, that will ruin absolutely everything, particularly after that lovely rendition from Eva. And I may say that we will hear more of that, because she's made some more records since and has given us the right to play them. So we'll be bringing those to you later on in the season, as they say. More fresh stuff next week. More fresh stuff daily, of course, with the rants, the editorials, call them what you will, and plenty of other stuff floating around between now and Christmas. So do keep on tuning in. You never know what you might find. Till we see you again, to the pip.
He never bring you down or leave you alone. Try